I know we gotta go live, Joe. I'll see you later. I saw some Japanese whiskey that was $900 a bottle.
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
All right, Tyvis is back. We are back. Getting you ready for another week of Buckeye football. We are back. The Buckeyes are back this week. I mean, getting ready for the cornholers. Hey, Peter, man, watch out for the cornhole. So we're ready for that. And we're going to be covering our backsides as Nebraska comes to town. Got Jeff and Shawn in here as per usual. And I have a ton of videos to show you guys tonight. We have so many things to get into. I have videos from Kirby Smart. This guy, he's feeling himself. He thinks he's Nick Saban, I think. He thinks he is speaking the truth on anything you want to ask him. And he's very adamant about the issues, I guess, or the problem in the Texas game. And he went into to Austin and beat Texas last night, so props to him. But now he thinks he's fucking, Nick Saban again. I'm not. So we'll get into that. His interview after the game. Then I got his press conference, so we can, if we want to, we can get into that. And I do want to remind people he did shove the quarterback from Mississippi State last week. Don't want people to forget about that. Everybody has seemed to have forgotten because all of a sudden Kirby Smart, now that Nick Saban's retired, Kirby Smart is the new, emperor of the SEC, something like that.
Yeah, rightfully so, though.
He kind of is, though. I mean,
he
say
is.
what you want, but I mean, the guy's been on a tear.
Okay. Yeah, you can't argue with the numbers, with the record and stuff. I think he's a total douche, but he's a good coach, and they got a lot of money they spend on the football program down there.
Right. They do, and a lot of money to spend on speeding tickets, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You're gonna need it.
I can't believe that's not a story. That's not a bigger story than it should be. What the fuck are they doing over there?
Another story. Another Georgia story that gets buried somehow. I mean, does this guy know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried or something? Because, why is the media not all over Athens? Georgia, not Greece. Sometimes I feel I need to clarify myself. Anyway, where do you guys want to start? You got a game that stuck out to you? Bama, Tennessee. You got Georgia, Texas. I really was shocked by that Georgia-Texas game. I took Texas with the 5 at home. I thought Quinn Ewers couldn't be rattled. He obviously was. I mean, we got the benching of Quinn and the playing of Arch. Then the replaying of Quinn. It's like, at some point you're like, all right, then you got to question the coach. And you're like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Pick one and go with it.
I kind of like the move when you got those two guys, especially, and Quinn's the starter there. But you got this guy, and if it ain't working out, and Quinn seems rattled, and hey, this isn't your day, there's. I don't mind bringing in Arch. Even bringing in Arch, I wasn't like, even if Arch were to go on and win that game, I still think yours is QB1 in the next game.
Mm,
But
Oh, you'd get a lot of backlash from the fan base.
I don't know. It's a depth thing, and hey, your guy was having an off day. Like we should have pulled Denzel Burke maybe the other day.
Okay.
You didn't lose your
thanks, Sean.
spot, but you're having a bad day, man.
Sean,
Bad day. Yeah.
Joe, real quick. I think we should let's stay on this game real quick.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You got to. We don't know like Coach Sark's relationship is with Quinn Ewers. Like how good of a bond they have, and what the conversations were like. That and like Sean, what you were saying about Denzel Burke, us pulling in a guy like Jermaine Matthews. I think playing corner or receiver or running back is a different situation than a quarterback. Remember too that this is Texas, and Texas is almost probably run by boosters and the big money people down there. So what that would lead, like if Arch were to come in and have better stats and look better than Ewers and win the game, I think there would be a lot of rumbling from a lot of people important to the people that are responsible for buying out Sark. Possibly were the ones they're the ones that are going to dictate that to Sark. I would believe. I don't think he has.
If they see a noticeable advantage, which Ewers has looked great all year, and I don't. I think you can pull a guy, and that doesn't mean you lost your spot. But I hear what you're saying. I know some would be, but guess what? A lot of those boosters gave a lot of money for Quinn Ewers too.
Yes.
Sure.
So I mean, like the way we look at it, Sean, I look at it the same way you do. You got to go with what's going to help you win the game. At all costs, you have a big roster. You have a bunch of 4 and 5 stars backing up 4 and 5 stars. Use them to win a game. We think that way, but these coaches and these programs, they have a lot more that they're dealing with outside of just winning that game. Unfortunately, I think there is so much more with it. Quinn is clearly the starter because Arch came in and the fumble didn't look great either. So there's not going to be a lot of rumbling for him. But it was there's a lot of things that they have to play into have to factor in that we don't actually have to think of.
I'm not sure anybody would have been successful against that Georgia defense. That defense looked like the old Georgia defense we're used to seeing.
Yeah, with 10 pros. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're flying around. They're bringing pressure on virtually every snap. Everything that Texas tried didn't seem to work.
No running game. They could not get the running game going.
Yeah. They didn't score. Texas didn't score until the third quarter, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of 4 turnovers for Texas, 3 turnovers for Georgia. Neither one got to 300 yards total offense.
Right.
Well,
neither quarterback really lit it up either.
No, Carson Beck, he throws a lot of picks. I think he's like towards the top of the SEC in interceptions.
Yeah, he went 23 of 41 for 175 yards and 3 picks.
Right.
Right.
What is that? That's barely 50%.
And you start looking back. You look at that Alabama game where Alabama just jumped on him from go. The first half was fucking routing them, and so you wonder how did that? Now, where's the fool's gold? Is it Georgia's defense? Is it Bama's offense? What is it?
Or because Texas not played anybody till now?
Right. Joey Galloway was bringing that up last night on their final college football final on ESPN. Yeah. He said Michigan's turned out to not be a very good team. So how much credit are we really giving Texas? He's like, I'm not. He almost put him outside the top 5. I think he caught himself, but he's like, what have they shown? If people want
Oklahoma sucks. Oklahoma sucks, and Michigan sucks. They have not played a legit offense until this week against Georgia.
But then they say, well, okay, you haven't played a good offense till Georgia or a good defense. Well, then
they're not going to play one the rest of the year. They're not till the SEC championship. They got Vandy, Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M.
That's
Maybe
Texas's
A&M.
remaining.
Yeah, that maybe A&M is the best offense, and they're
Yeah,
ranked
yes.
14th. I
And,
mean,
and
Wow.
Florida's figuring it out on offense.
How'd they skate by so easy in the SEC?
yeah,
That's
first
insane.
year
Well,
easies. Yeah.
they gave them Georgia. They said, "Well, you get Georgia at home."
They
So I mean,
thought
that was the big, that was the big one.
Oklahoma and Georgia back to back, and we thought this going into the season. Remember
Yeah,
when we looked at the schedules, we were like,
yeah.
"Fuck, Oklahoma and Georgia back to back,
They're
Red
dropping
River
one of them.
shootout, and then Georgia, you got to drop one," and
Yeah,
that's what happened.
which yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's kind of played out that way. But Bama's got Oklahoma. They give Oklahoma, Bama, and Georgia, Texas to
Right.
kind of play the hits, I guess. But yeah, but Oklahoma's turned out to be dog shit. Their star 5-star quarterback is he's gonna be transferring, I believe.
I I feel
Right.
like I feel like this is
I
setting up
guess.
perfect for the playoffs. I feel like anybody in the top 10 can beat anybody in the top
Yep.
10.
Which we thought that way. I thought that way last year. I thought there was 8 teams last year. About midway, 3/4 of the way through the season, I was like, there's 8 teams that could probably beat. They could beat anybody, any of the 8 on any given day. Um, it's parity. I mean, it's nice to see. It's nice to see to be able to have one loss, lose a heartbreaker like we did, and still have a chance. At getting into playoffs and proving it. Having a
Right.
redemption game. So
And to your point about the parity, I mean, this is across college football because of the portal and well, NIL plays a part because it's an incentive to move to another program. But
yep,
the real incentive is playing time. I can go start over
yep,
here or at least be in the two deep. So it's really made that parity and made college football the NFL like, model, right?
yeah. Most of the sorry,
So
Joe,
let's
real quick.
focus. I want to stay on this Georgia Texas
Yep.
game because I got a lot of video I want to show. But what else do you guys want to talk about with this game before I start ripping off some videos?
Oh, looking at, I was just kind of like, then we get to the good, bad, and ugly,
Yep.
kind of. So I don't want to give away my answers, but I was just shocked. I turned the game on probably about 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Is
Right.
when I got in, and I was like, what the fuck? How's it? What is going on?
Right.
I was like, what happened? Trying to catch up. Then I heard that there was turnovers. So I mean, but it proves that nobody's superior. People were giving Texas like they're clearly head and shoulders above. No, they're not.
Yep.
Texas isn't back like dominating college football like they never were. They're one of the 5 or 6 best. That's it.
And it again. We say this every year, but you your team is not fully formed in week one. It's an evolution over 12, whatever. Now it's 14 weeks with 2 buys and the championship
Hmm.
games at the end. But so your team is evolving. Maybe this Georgia defense is evolving and maybe they're peaking right now. I don't know if that's going to sustain for 4, 5, 6 more weeks. We'll see. But they're definitely better than they were a month ago, in my
True.
opinion.
I think everybody is. I mean, we just happened to
Yeah.
start our warts started showing up last week.
Right. We played a
Over the
good
next couple
team.
of weeks, over the next couple of weeks, we'll find out if
Yeah.
those warts go. If we can mask them, or if it's going to be our downfall.
If you
It's still
want
to
to
be
know what
still
to
to be.
fix, go play a good team. They'll show you. They'll be
Yeah,
happy to show
exactly.
you.
And
So,
Clemson getting blown out by Georgia opening weekend. Clemson's
right.
looking like
We
a good
thought,
football team now. I thought they were
yeah,
trash after that.
and now it's flipped. I mean, Georgia's still really good. Kind of went through some lulls there, ups and downs, but Clemson is getting better. Maybe getting fat on some garbage teams, but so I want to talk about this pass interference in the Texas Georgia
Mm.
game. I want to
Yep.
show that, and then the aftermath. The aftermath is actually more important than the penalty itself, right? I mean, because that's the problem. So let me see if I can pull this up.
But the penalty itself might have changed the outcome of that game.
Yeah,
That proves,
right.
yeah, you
So
can boo.
look at this
I
side
mean,
by side comparison.
I don't know if the
beautiful.
Clemson
I like
call
that.
the if that Clemson call was at Ohio State for
Oh yeah,
something.
The Sean Wade's on
Right.
Sean Wade's blitz when he on the the head
Yeah.
honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have. I don't think that shouldn't have been called either. I still to this day the 2019 Fiesta Bowl is still sits with me
Yeah.
because that should have never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, there's contact coming out of the route on both
Yeah.
plays here.
Just one dude's stronger than the other. One receiver is stronger than
Yes.
11 is not as strong as Jeremiah. That's the difference right there.
Same contact.
So let's
It's
yeah. So all right. So let's talk about Kirby Smart here.
this fucking
Which one
clown.
is
I saw
this?
the interview after the game. Yeah, like you can't tell that dude's a Manning. Eli could be his daddy. But they all look alike. I mean, they all, yeah, they all. They mean,
Yeah. Goofy as fuck. Long necks. Long
yeah,
hair. Get a haircut, hippie.
they look like the
So
country folk
that's a
from
lot of
Louisiana.
fun.
Not the elite.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah. Again, just to recap this Georgia Texas game, I had Texas winning this one because the last time I saw Georgia in a big game, they got rolled and easily. You know. So
Well, they came. They had a great comeback, but so the score didn't really indicate the game. The first half, they got dominated in the first half of a game against a like opponent. You're right. I would have
right.
picked. I would have put money on Texas as well. I thought five was a little scary, but maybe a touchdown, 6 points, 7 point win. I was thinking 31-24, maybe 28-35, something like that. But Texas defense is good, but Georgia's offense isn't that good. I don't think they don't have the guys they used to have.
No.
You
Right.
know what I mean? They don't have that many weapons. I don't think
Right.
so.
All right.
Everybody's beautiful though. We saw we saw Texas have their faults. If they
Yep.
turn the ball over, if they can't run the ball, their offense
Yeah.
their passing doesn't look nearly as effective if the ground game's not working.
Yeah. Question for the chat. I just dropped it in there a few minutes ago. Will the Cheaters make it to a bowl game? We do need to talk about that.
They
So
don't deserve to.
drop your comments in the chat, and I will read those off later. So that means they have to win 6 games, which seems to be a challenge at this point. Henry, you got a game you wanna pivot to?
Well, I mean, if you're going to segue right into it, why don't we just talk about that Michigan game?
I would love
There you
to.
go. Well, can we do our good, bad, ugly first? Because you're spoiling 2 of my
Okay.
takes here.
Okay, that's fine. Jeff, go ahead then. Give me your good off the top.
My good,
Yes.
Georgia's defense is still good. I don't like their
That's
offense.
fair.
I'm not impressed with their offense, but Georgia still has that defense that they just let everybody know, like, hey, we still got the fucking dominant, premier defense in the country with the athletes. Their athletes, they showed their athletes. I don't know if they made a change of scheme or what, but they looked like all of their studs were shown out. Given the opportunities to make big plays, and they all did.
Right. Shawn, what's your good?
My good is Michigan lost. That's good. That's my good.
That should be like a standing good that we can't, because that's any week that happens, that should be all 3 of ours. So that should be like
I was going to use it as my bad and ugly too, like there.
Oh, I mean, spoiler alert. I got my ugly is about that game. But Joe, go ahead.
Let's
continue
our good, bad, and ugly because my
Yeah.
is the same.
All right. All right. So we're back to bad. What was the bad?
No, my good was as I leave the lavatory.
Okay.
My good
Wait.
was Michigan is 4-3 and rolling downhill. A big poop ball rolling downhill at 4-3 because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worser. But yes, I agree with you, Shawn. That's a great call. All right, let's go bad. Jeff, circling back around to you in this circle jerk pie.
Minor general this week. My bad is
Yeah.
the meat of the SEC conference.
Oh,
Their middle is not good.
yeah, yeah. I'm not sure they deserve 4 teams in the playoffs.
They probably have 4 of the 10 best teams in the country. So I mean,
Ooh.
I bet they
Versus
do.
the Big Ten?
Go overall. Just looking overall at teams, what we've seen so far, 7 games in.
Okay.
I bet they have 4 of the 10 best in the country still.
Okay. All right. So what was your bad? The middle of the SEC?
Yeah, the middle. Yeah, the middle of the SEC is not,
Yeah.
and Ole Miss included. That's the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah.
That's the A&M. Ole Miss. That's the middle of the SEC to me.
They're
They're
perennial
not.
middlers.
Yes, and they're not. But that doesn't mean they're the top of the country, which is what the media just portrays them. They take, they say the middle of the SEC is lumped in with the dominance of the top of the SEC. There's a big gulf there.
Yeah. All right. Shawn, what do you got for bad?
For bad, I've got Michigan's offense and quarterback play.
Nice.
Yes, yes, it is.
What was wrong with that? I didn't see it.
I mean, they're in no man's land. I'm sorry. I spent a little time looking at one of their blogs, and oh, they're full on. They know this is a wreck. They're talking about Hoke and Rich Rod, and I mean they're in meltdown. And
Harbaugh leaves and it's back to old Michigan, back to the Michigan we've known the last 20 years.
and decidedly so. And I don't know. They think that portal's going to open up, like it'll be a bunch of new people next year, and Moore needs to fire most of that staff, or he needs to go too. And and they're freaking out that they've been good for 3 years, and they've played like 3 quarterbacks, and none of them could start on any Big Ten team basically.
No.
And
Not
it's
at
like,
all.
how do you get that thin? I mean,
Who was the coach before? Would be my question. Who was the coach before Sharon Moore?
well, I mean, when you're
what's that guy's
throwing
name?
100-something yards, I actually heard I heard a rumor up here that Michigan or somebody, I don't know if Portnoy was involved, but offered that Bryce Underwood like $4 million
Yeah.
Yeah,
to go to
yeah.
Michigan.
Portnoy made a statement that he will contribute $3 million a year to make sure Michigan has a quarterback.
Yeah.
He said that in an interview or something.
Yeah, that
Well,
was a
but
couple
yeah.
weeks ago. But just this week, like late this week, I heard the Bryce Underwood rumors, and I don't know, man. Why would a quarterback go to Michigan? You got to show
Right.
me a freaking reason. I'm looking at it from a recruit's point of view.
Yeah,
Or
and
their
transfer
parents.
portal.
I'm not sending my kid to fucking Michigan to turn around and hand it off 35 times a game. Get the hell out of here.
And the
No, that's
unstableness
why
of
he's going to go to LSU, and he's going to
Right?
play
And
exactly
CJ
how
Carr
he
is
plays.
going to Notre Dame.
Yep. I guess I heard that Lloyd Carr's the family, they're not fans of Harbaugh, and I think that's why he had committed to Notre Dame. But there was no talk of him, any thoughts of coming
Right.
back or nothing like that. He's committed.
Right.
And Joe, the unstableness of the program, like the cheating and all this, like because if other team like Ohio State or Penn State are recruiting that kid and they say that we have interest in Michigan, they're going to give them all the facts, all the information. All these teams are recruiting against Michigan. They're going to make the parents aware of all the laundry list of shit that's going on there and the rumors and everything. So that's got to be. Well, there's smoke, there's fire, and you're right. Smart parents will see that and be like, eh.
Yeah.
And you're
So, okay.
going to be passing. Not
Let's
passing
continue
the ball.
our good, bad, and ugly here.
Yeah.
Shawn had the cheaters, and let's see, Jeff, you gave
That's
yours.
ugly. No, I'm back to my ugly.
No, I haven't done my bad. My
Oh,
bad is the Texas offensive line. Thought you guys were good, but no, it was fool's gold. Getting happy and fat, fat and happy against garbage teams, and that includes Oklahoma. Not a good team.
Yeah.
Let's let everybody let that sink in. Oklahoma is not at all even a middle of the road team. They can't score a point to save their ass. So Texas O-line, bad, bad, bad. Shame on you. All right, back around to the ugly Jeff.
Sorry,
but
sorry, Joe. I lost you guys for a minute. You guys knocked off there for a minute. Sorry. Are you up to me from my ugly from the weekend?
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah, I had this planned. I was Michigan's offense in general, their execution, their talent, everything.
Okay.
Ugly as fuck. I love it. It makes me happy to see the ugliness. But yeah, downright ugly.
Okay. Shawn, what do you got for ugly, fugly? UGLY. You ain't got no way I love by you ugly. Yeah.
Well,
that's right.
I would like to kind of lump all this into a lot of ugly. I would say the powerhouses of the SEC quarterback play was all ugly, from Tennessee to Milroe to Ewers to Beck. They all played like trash.
Yep.
They were ugly, all of them.
Yeah.
But go look at every one of their stat lines, and not good.
That's exactly what I had for my ugly. It was just QB
Joe,
play, generally speaking, across the board. That includes Big Ten, SEC, everybody. Horrible QB play across college football. And I don't think you can give the defenses all the credit.
No, I don't think so either, Joe. I think that's what brings a lot of the parity I was talking about earlier, because any quarterback can take a shit any Saturday, and another quarterback can just be in a good game. But we saw it from Quinn and March, and you're right, from the rest of them. That was my second, actually my second ugly in the weekend.
Okay.
We must be all thinking alike.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss when you watch multiple games and quarterbacks just aren't getting it done. Maybe it's a resurgence of defenses to some degree, but I mean, we saw Milroe work over.
Lighten up Georgia.
So
but that first half, him and Malaway, how do you say it, Joe? Nico Malaiva.
Oh, Nico, yeah, he's another mediocre quarterback. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they both look like dog shit, throwing picks. They said they can't throw anything intermediate, and they both those teams have been hyped up like hell all year. Yeah. But yeah, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance.
While we're on Nico, can we stop showing his dad after every play in the stands?
What's that
That's
about?
not helping anybody. Nobody cares what he thinks. Obviously, he's cheering for his son, whether he does good, bad, or indifferent. So let's get off the dads. I saw Jalen Milroe's dad get in a fight at the Tennessee game. Probably not good to have a camera on these guys. Come on.
No.
So, not smart. But, yeah. Any other games we need to brush up on here, because we got to get into this Nebraska pregame coming up?
Well,
speaking of Nebraska, Joe.
Yeah.
Wow. That's eye-opener.
What happened there, huh? Is that what you're asking yourself?
Where's the black shirts?
Yeah, I heard.
What happened?
I heard a very well-known college football announcer say that the black shirts are back last week. Oh, he ended up announcing the actual Indiana-Nebraska game. Joel Klatt. How's that humble pie?
I did not hear him. I did not hear any of him during the game.
Oh yeah, he mentioned the words black shirts.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa, let's look at the schedule here. Who has Nebraska played thus far? UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois. They lost to, by the way.
Came back on. Yeah, Illinois. That black shirts gave up that game.
Purdue, Rutgers. They won 14-7. Hello. And then they got smoked. So, anyway, Yeah, that's a good point, Shawn. You want to go ahead and take the lead on that one?
Oh, just on these Hoosiers. I think these Hoosiers are for real, though.
Yeah.
They're scoring points.
They are scoring points, and they're playing just good football. Um, they're in the conversation, man. If we're still ranking our top 4 Big Ten teams at the end of this,
Yeah, I'd like
Yes,
to.
we are. Yes, we
actually,
are.
I think the last time we did that, I already had Indiana in there.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm not sure
Might
about
have to
that,
check it.
but
They might have to check the audio on that. That might be revisionist history.
I give you a
I don't.
revisionist history there.
I think they slid in my 4th spot. I think
Oh.
we all had something different that week. Someone had Illinois, which isn't a bad
Sounds
take. Um, Illinois is not a bad take. They're solid. But if not Indiana, who? I mean,
Undefeated. Undefeated. You can't.
Well, yeah, let's
putting
find
up
out.
numbers. I don't think they've been in a. They've won every game by 2 scores.
Yep.
I think they're top. Their offense is top of the nation in points per game.
Well,
They're top 5. They're in the top 5. They're in the top 5. Their offensive stats are top 5 in the country. Now they got to play us. Do they have to play Penn State? Another good defense. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have the schedule pulled up, but
I got it. They play
hopefully,
us, and they
yeah.
play Michigan State. They got Washington this coming
Sparty.
week. Sparty, then the Cheaters, us, and Purdue. So no, they don't have a Penn State.
They got 4 losable games. I think. I mean, Purdue. I think is gonna be a walkover, but Sparty can make them
I'm not sure
work
I
for it.
see 4 there.
I see 1. I think they roll every one of those except for
Now
Ohio State.
Well, my point more to that was Shawn was to the parity aspect of they're not so dominant that I can just pen, right in wins over all of those.
They're
schools.
right in front of us in points per game on average. They are 3rd in the country. Indiana is
Okay.
44 points a game. We are at
Yeah.
43.5.
They have played trash, though. I'm looking at their schedule.
Exactly. Yes.
But they're doing.
Yes.
I mean, but they're blowing everybody out.
They're doing what they're supposed to do to those
Points.
trash.
Yeah.
They went out.
played
They
the
went out.
pink shirts this week. They played the pink shirts.
Yeah,
Went out to the Rose Bowl. Went out to the Rose Bowl and put it on UCLA. UCLA had a big win this weekend
It's fucking nuts.
out of nowhere.
I didn't see that
So-
coming.
No, I mean nobody did. But so Indiana's not. They're not ready for the stage. They're not going undefeated. They're not go. They might have. I would bet money against them going 11-1. I would be shocked. But are they for real? I was impressed last year with the opening week. I was impressed with their defense. That
I
might
feel like
have.
they're almost guaranteed 10-2, right?
They're not guaranteed shit. You got to go and play
they're-
these games. These are 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids, man. They're not. There's nothing's guaranteed.
6-point favorites this weekend against Washington.
At home,
So that's a tight one. That's a tight one.
right?
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, they're not favored by 7 if they're going out to Seattle. Guaranteed.
And they're. You know what? Take Indiana.
I'll take them with the 6. I'd take Indiana. Yeah, I'll give them. Yeah, I'll give the points. But
I said they're 6-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm saying. I would take that. I'd take Indiana
Yeah,
to
they're
cover.
gonna win.
Okay.
Gonna win
Okay.
by 17.
Oh, all right.
I don't know about 17, but a touchdown, sure.
Sig. Smoke them up.
Is it Signetti or Scagnetti?
Sig. Like
Signetti? Yeah,
short
okay.
for Sig. Hey, I got a question for going back to that Tennessee-Bama game. What do those Bama fans do with all those cigars they brought into Neyland Stadium?
Try to sell them to Tennessee fans that forgot to bring one?
Yeah.
Or they just
I
fucking
saw
chuck
a
them in.
lot of videos of some very confident Bama fans walking into the gates with like a whole humidor of cigars.
They let them do that?
Apparently.
I mean, aren't there rules?
No, I mean, have you seen the post game from 2022?
Dude,
After in the stands, that's like a freaking cloud. Apparently, that's a thing. I don't know how you can do that in another team stadium, but I guess it's a smoking venue.
Joe, it's Knoxville. and it's Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck what they allow for the home team. Yeah, who knows what the fuck's going on down there, man.
Yeah.
That's the
Fog
difference.
of
It
war,
It's a whole
violates
different deal.
several city ordinances.
Yeah, probably. Like Josh Pate talked about it from 2022. He said there was smoke inhalation on the field after the game.
But the same people that enforce those rules are probably the boosters that are sitting in the fucking press boxes or the luxury suites. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They're,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
smoking their cigars. It doesn't count for nothing counts for the football game. Probably.
Right. Yeah. So, what else? Any other games? I'm looking through here. Clemson did not cover against Virginia, per usual, because Dabo doesn't know what the spread is. You dumbass. Might make some more money for your Hope Springs church. Tennessee, Bama. We covered that, right?
Yes. One of the games,
Bad
Joe,
quarterback play versus bad quarterback play.
all bad. One game I saw from Friday night, Joe. Joe, real quick, I saw Duke. Duke beat Florida State for the first time ever.
That's funny.
So, props to Duke for doing that, to pile it on a shitty FSU team. No need to talk about the game. I just want to note how low FSU is.
I want to thank Purdue for not putting one single point on the board. I needed you to at least get a touchdown to cover, and you did not. You had 29 points to work with, and you couldn't even wrestle out a measly 6. Other than that, I got nothing else. Big Ten was pretty quiet. We talked Michigan, Illinois a little bit. Anything there, Shawn, you want to talk about? It's nothing new, right? It's the same old song and dance.
I think they're in trouble. I think that team could quit on this. I don't know. All the fans and stuff I read, it's like everyone's given up. Like the coaching's not good, the discipline's not there. I read something, and I don't know if it's bullshit. It certainly could be, but it was like 13 guys were inactive for this week, and they're wondering if part of that's like, you know what, I don't give a shit. Where on a typical week in Jim Harbaugh, there'd be 2 or 3 guys that, but I don't know. You just wonder what the culture is there.
Oh, right, so I have something regarding the culture.
And you're losing, and you got all this other stuff going on in the background. It's like, whew.
I got a video that may shed some light on that. Here we go.
Jack talked about, I assume the offense needed a little bit more grit.
The execution thing, it's not that these guys aren't tough or gritty. We just got to execute the little things, We got to make the completions. We got to find, proper hat placement to do the little things and not turn the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, you win the game, but we can't live in the what-if world. So for us, we just have to go execute and possess the football.
I wish we could do that.
Jack talked about,
I didn't hear it.
The offense needed a little bit more grit.
The question is asked, basically,
that's an issue.
Is your team soft?
No, I don't think it's it's an execution
he
thing.
Said,
it's not
no,
that
I don't
these guys
think it's a
aren't
grit
or
toughness
gritty
issue.
We just got to execute the little things. We got to make the completions. We got to find proper hat placement to do the little things.
Well, yeah,
not turn the ball
like
over.
blocking the guy,
things, not turn the ball
Can't live
over.
in the what-if world. So for us,
Can't
we
live
just
in
have
the
to
what-if world.
Possess the football.
Possess the football.
Jack talked about.
So people are asking.
You can't turnovers and little things together. Little things and turnovers are huge at that level.
But people are asking if Michigan is soft. That's why I wanted to highlight that, because you might have heard that question before about other programs, and now it's being asked of Michigan. So I find that interesting.
Too much loss, too much left from the championship season where everybody's celebrating. They got a year. They're sitting how good they are, hearing it, and too many people that left that were important to the operation. The players, coach, Harbaugh took a lot of guys with him. He took the key guys with him,
But I'll bet those 2 D linemen, Grant and Graham or whatever their names are, and Will, whatever, the corner,
Johnson.
Can't wait to get out of there.
Big Johnson, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Johnson sat out most of the game with an injury, allegedly.
Yeah. He
Was
protected
that
his draft
true?
stock.
I don't know. Seems like maybe he's checked out. Then you got
Yeah, does he want to go to a bowl game?
He wants to
why?
get
Yeah,
he wants
I
he wants to
he,
sign with an agent and get going. He wants to start getting on to being a pro for sure.
unfortunately, we're past week 4 where guys could have redshirted and transferred or just, gotten ready for the NFL. This secondary is a freaking train wreck. What's their numbers here? 20. Where's that guy at?
Like,
He's a problem. 10, Zeke Berry. Yeah, Jair Hill, that's the guy. Those guys are major fish in the secondary, so you don't
now
even
they
need
think we have
to,
one. Now they think we have one, Joe. I mean, Michigan fans are watching
Well-
our game and they're like, oh, 10's the fish. 10's the guy. 10's the guy. Just like,
Yeah, 1 week versus every week is a big difference.
Denzel Burks never made a play. against
Denzel
Michigan.
had one big week, one bad week. Michigan has a bad week in the secondary every week against mediocre quarterbacks, too.
You just know like, the national perception is, while you guys talking bad about somebody else having poor DBs, y'all got smoked you guys got lit up by Oregon.
Right.
Different, obviously. Illinois is not known for their offense. They're a good defense, but
Yeah.
yeah, who's transferring to Who's going to transfer into Michigan? Who's
I
going to save
mean,
them?
Michigan. Not to jump all over the chat question, Joe, but this next week's game against Sparty, Sparty is looking better than I thought they would. Frankly, still pretty not
They're
good.
developing. Yeah.
They are developing. I think that quarterback's got a little
Well, that
chutzpah.
spread.
What?
Oh, I
Go
like
ahead,
that
Shawn.
word. Yeah.
No, but
It's
if
very Yiddish of you.
if Sparty can somehow pull this one off,
Right.
Michigan isn't going to go bowling in my view. This game
Right. That
is all of it. I give them the Northwestern win. That's a gimme. So they're going to get the 5.
Yeah.
It's this game right here.
That's what I was going to say. This game was a 24.5-point spread over the summer when you could get on the early lines, when they were just putting them out there.
Right.
Now it's down to 5.5.
Yeah, Michigan scored 24 and a half.
Where they playing? Where they playing,
Over
Joe?
under is 40.5. This game is at Sparty, I believe. Right, Shawn?
No, it's at Michigan.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that spread would be 4.5 if it was Sparty. I
I'm not
think
sure that matters.
I think I take Sparty with the points. I would.
And that's saying something because their offenses look putrid too. Aiden Chili's is not looking good.
You know what?
It's
But the
chilly.
difference between the two of them, though, between Michigan's quarterback situation and what Michigan State has going, the continuity and the communication and the relationship with the coach and the quarterback, and that quarterback he's capable of making, big plays and explosive
Right.
plays.
The ceiling
Now,
is much higher.
Yes. So I think there's a big difference there. Whereas you can't nobody can honestly say that they watch Michigan football and they say, yeah, well, this quarterback he has the capability of making these splash plays. We haven't seen one.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a little bit. I think that's why just going with that. Sparty sees they smell the blood or see the blood in the water. I think they get confidence watching how shitty Michigan is. I think it gives them confidence that we can't play them. We're feeling ourselves.
Is it going to be Tuttle again starting for him this week? I mean,
I don't know why you
everyone
change
they
it.
trot out there is awful.
Yeah. He actually put up over 200 yards passing this week, though, so that's like a season high for a Michigan quarterback.
That's like double the season high.
Yeah. So they're in big trouble. I love to watch a program burn. Nothing more than the
After
Amazing
the
Blue.
natty.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got to get teed up for this Nebraska game coming up next week. Not a great showing this past weekend, like we talked about. This is a nooner. This is your big noon on Fox. So Herb is going to be in town, coming up from his wintertime slumber down in Siesta Key. They hope he didn't get flooded out from the last couple of hurricanes. That would break my heart. Anyway, Nebraska 5-2, 2-2 in the Big Ten. Buckeye, as we know, with the one loss to Oregon. I watched Son of a Woman a couple weeks ago, and now I'm saying Oregon like Al Pacino does in that, because Chris O'Donnell, the kid, is from Oregon. So now I'm having conflictions in my mouth. Anyway, nobody cares. In Columbus, so let's talk about Nebraska. I'm going to be short on this so you guys have plenty of time to talk about it. Matt Rule, 5-2 on the season, second year with Nebraska. Now we do need to keep in mind he's still in a rebuilding phase here with this program. They're returning 9 starters on offense, 8 on defense. They hit the portal hard on offense, harder on offense actually than defense. They brought in a wide receiver from Wake Forest, Jamal Banks, Dante Dowdell from Oregon. Again, I got to say it that way now. It's also a sign of disrespect to you Ducks fans. You're welcome. He was a 4-star. He's actually one of their better running backs right now. Then you got a guard from Florida came in, and wide receiver Isaiah Nayor from Texas. We remember him a bit. Then defense is brought in a linebacker from Syracuse, Stephon Thompson, and then Bly Hill, corner from St. Francis. Anyway. So looking at the averages here across the board, Nebraska's offense, they're 80th in the country, putting up 23.5 points a game. The Buckeye defense is second in the country, allowing 11 points a game. Yards per game, Nebraska's putting up 359. That's 83rd. Buckeye defense is third in the country, allowing 252. So you can see where I'm going with this. This is a weakness versus strength kind of thing. It's not a strength on strength thing. And Nebraska does not do it in the run game at all. They're 93rd in the country in rushing yards per game. Passing yards per game, we know we got Dylan Ravioli there taking his hands under center. They're 59th in the country, putting up 234.7 per game. Buckeyes are 10th. That average took a little dip last week or 2 weeks ago. But
Ravioli only had three picks and a fumble last week.
Right, not exactly star-spangled numbers. So that Nebraska offense is a problem, and they bring in a second quarterback. You see that occasionally for some running plays, short yardage and red zone. So they run that dude, and for some reason Ravioli with his big ass isn't big enough to crash in there. I don't know.
Honestly, I've not watched any Nebraska football outside of the last 10 minutes of the Illinois game. I didn't even know about this other quarterback. But, they stuck with a freshman quarterback, so he's taking these ups and downs like any freshman quarterback would. I do think he's their answer at the position. Matt Rule does do a good job getting offenses, working at a high level. He's done it everywhere he's went, compared to where he's improved everywhere he's went. They're not ready yet, but this dude, by this guy's junior year, they start pulling in some top 20 classes recruiting. They're going to be respectable at least. Towards the top of the Big Ten. That upper third maybe.
Yeah. The O-line isn't terrible either here. Like looking at their grades, run blocking, they're not so great, but pass blocking, they're solid. I mean, run blocking, their best O-lineman is a 67.9. 60 is just average, obviously, kind of like a grading scale. So there's nobody above a 60 other than the right guard. So nothing impressive here on this O line. And then when you look
but you can't expect the same blowout because Nebraska's not going to have 5 turnovers against us. Hopefully we can,
Probably not. Yeah.
force 1 or 2, but it just got away from them. So, I mean, Nebraska's better than this score indicates, I feel.
Yep.
Still not great.
The turnover margin, they're actually 48th in the country. They're plus 0.3 turnovers per game, so
Plus 0.3?
not horrible. That's after this monster game, yeah.
Woof. Woof.
Yep. So,
0.3.
then the Buckeye offense going against this Nebraska / Blackshirts defense. The defense is doing well, but again, they haven't played anybody until this past weekend. I wonder if they have refreshed these stats slightly. So they allow, they're 27th in the country, allowing 20.2 points a game. Yards per game, they're 16th, allowing 306. But we're 5th in the country in both of those categories. 43.5 points a game and then 503 yards per game. So this is a Buckeye, strength versus kind of their strength of their team, but didn't look like it last week against Indiana. Yards per game, they allow about 100. We put up 209. Passing yards per game, they allow 208. That's 42nd in the country. We put up almost 300. So that's 16th. I mean, you know what I'm saying here. This is
and they played one team. They played one good passing team, or 2. Indiana was the second.
Right.
I would say because they
right.
Colorado. They played Colorado.
UTEP, Colorado, and Colorado. They only allowed 10 points, so it's not like they lit it up. That was
that's why they thought the black shirts. That's when they thought the black shirts were back. They held Sanders. They held them in check. They say.
Right. They gave up 31 points to Illinois, though. Illinois does not move the ball quickly. Purdue, they won, allowed 10. Rutgers, they allowed 7. And then, of course, we saw Indiana. They allowed 56. So
yeah, and Rutgers held them to 14. Illinois held them to 24 in overtime. I mean, they're not explosive. Their biggest output was 40 this year, or to UTEP. I mean, but I think the quarterback, he might be the right answer though. Like I said, another year or two if they can put back to back some classes, recruiting wise.
I think it's smart to get him in there early. Sure. Why wait? Especially when you're rebuilding in year 2 for Matt Rule. What do you got to lose?
I think he had to promise that. I think he had to guarantee that also to help.
For sure.
But he didn't come easy. I'm sure. George is throwing a lot of money at him. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe we didn't throw money at him, and that's why he.
Well, you take the first offer, and then if somebody offers more over the top, you're like, okay, thanks, yeah.
And their schedule, Joe, they haven't played anybody really of total team substance.
We covered it, yeah.
Their schedule started Indiana, and then it's us. Then they got UCLA at home. Then they got to go out to SC.
Yeah.
At Wisconsin back to back, and at Iowa. 3 road games to finish the season. SC, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Yeah, but all those teams are mid.
Whiskey's a road game.
Nebraska,
I think Nebraska's mid. So they're losable games for them.
Oh, for sure, no. But I think every one of those is a good football game. Like either one of them could go either way.
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, they're.
Except UCLA, I think they're trash. I think they got to be UCLA.
And they got them at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCLA looked good this weekend, but that doesn't tell you a lot. A lot of mid around here.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our score predictions and our microscopes. The Buckeyes are 9-1 versus Nebraska, and they've won the last 7, 5-2 against the spread. In the last meeting, 2021, Jackson had 15 catches for 240. Wow. Buckeyes held Nebraska to 2 of 13 on third downs in a 26-17 road win. And this week, the Buckeyes are favored by 24.5, over under 49.
Wow.
So let's kick it to Shawn. I'm going to let you go first with your score prediction.
My score prediction is at Ohio State, we're 25.5. I'm going to have to go something like 42-13.
Ooh, 42. That's a high water mark for you, I think.
Shawn, you're sitting right on my fucking call, man. Damn. All right.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Joe, okay, I'll go with mine. I was right there. So I'll vary it a little bit. I'll go 46-17. I think we come out. I think we exploit them. I think we're pissed off. They're going to give up a couple big passes, but
Yeah.
I think we put it on them. They don't have the horses for us.
Exploit 'em. I love exploiting people. It's kind of my habit. Anyway, that's a good one. I like it. High scoring affair, over for sure. Both of you guys are over. I'm going slightly under. Pay attention to the score here. 39 Niner.
39-9?
39 Niner. Yes. So under the total there, but the Buckeyes cover as usual. So yeah, coming into this game, I could look at this a million different ways. I could talk about Nebraska's horrible offense and their mediocre defense, but I want to let you guys do that for me. Shawn, we started off with you with the scores, so let's go with your microscopes on offense. Let's start offense first, and we'll circle back, because we have time, to the defense.
All right, so I'll go with the guy that I don't think I've ever gone with this guy yet, but he's got to get back going there. I'm going with Q. I'm taking you guys Quinchon this week. I always take Trey and some other dudes, but Q needs to get back on his feet this week.
He just had the hand procedure.
Well, is he playing?
You tell me. I don't know. We'll find out. I would give him a week off, personally, if he just had surgery on a hand. But he had the bye week.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. Dave's press conference is Tuesday. I'm sure that's going to be asked and addressed. But I like it, Shawn. I mean, you want to see more of it. You want to see more the consistency.
Well, I just want to see him pick it back up. I feel like Trey's Trey's killing it right now. That's my guy. You know that's my guy. But I want, Q just, he didn't have a great game.
Well, the hand issue, Joe, they're giving Travion more looks because he's banged up a little bit with the hand. So Trey was having success. Quinchon could have had that success if he would have got that many looks, maybe. But the hand thing was that played into his injury. Why he was able to get that ball stripped from him?
Seems that way. Whether it was injured on that play or prior. There was a rumor last week before the Oregon game that he sustained an injury in practice, but that was always just a rumor. But anyways, doesn't matter.
Hey man, when you're carrying the ball, your hand is on the ball. Somebody a face mask. That shit hurts, bro.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. Soft people say that. Anyway, go ahead, Jeff, with your microscope on offense.
It's our left tackle. Whoever's playing it, Zen Mikowski. Big microscope, bro.
Everything's in.
Everything's in. Hopefully, you got a big microscope, dude, because that is one of the most important positions on the field, and you're coming in cold. I mean, I'm glad he got a little bit of the game time reps to, be in live game action like that. But Nebraska's gonna, they're targeting him. They're gonna try to work him. So I mean, he's big microscope.
Oh yeah, huge. All right.
Good call.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Pats on the back. I'm going. Let's see. Who was quiet last time? Oh, Tate. Carnell Tathan. He's got to have a breakout game. I I had a hot take over the summer that Carnell Tate was going to have a monster season. And what happened? It has not happened yet. We're halfway through.
Jeremiah Smith happened.
A second year guy. I know, but I was expecting a second year guy to really, take off. Didn't work. So let's get Tate back in the mix here.
He's still having a nice season, though. I mean,
yeah.
I think, Joe. I think stat-wise, the numbers below what maybe we all thought, but Jeremiah Smith's numbers are way above what we all thought.
Sure. Right.
Tate
is a blocking demon. Tate is they're using him in some lead blocking scenarios when they run those counters.
A Julian Fleming type.
They're using him against
yeah.
So I'm going Tate.
I think Tate's having a good, like Shawn said. I think Tate's having a good year.
Yeah.
He's playing well. He's just not getting the numbers because we got fucking Jeremiah Smith. Oh, and the other guy, the other pro, Emeka. So
right.
I kind of thought their stats would be flipped. I thought Carnell might get 12, 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But Jeremiah, he is what we all hoped he was. So
right.
he's still playing well.
Show me your Tate. Shawn, let's go with defense on your microscopes.
All right. So the whole key to this game, if we can rattle Dylan Raiola, then that's where it starts getting ugly and the game gets lopsided. So I'm going back to my old boy Jack. I'm gonna need some pressures and some sacks. And Dylan will throw it up there. He'll throw it up there. So yeah, I want to see some D-line pressure.
Okay.
Especially out of
the
Jack.
Monday Warrior. Today's Tom Sawyer.
Mean guy.
All right, Jeff. What do you got on defense?
I'm Joe. I probably don't want to steal it from you. It's like taking a quarterback on offense. Denzel Burke. Hey, are you gonna make some Nebraska wide receivers some money in the NFL? Are you gonna play like the lockdown corner that we all thought you were? That you've shown that you're capable of. Denzel Burke, biggest microscopes there are. Burke and our left tackle.
I'll bet you he's gonna come out like just a machine this week. I got to think that Denzel Burke is inspired this week.
He better be. That'll answer some questions for me about him. But
yeah,
I hope so.
I think we're never going to see that game from Denzel again, or a game like that anyway, or a similar scenario. But I'm going Caleb Downs. I feel like I'm waiting for this guy to really take off. He shows us flashes over the last few weeks. He's been activated, according to Jim Knowles, whatever the fuck that means. So let's reactivate and maybe add some mustard on that.
What do you mean activated? Was he hurt?
I don't know what the fuck he
meant. That's the word that Knowles used in a press conference, Shawn. They're now drawing some stuff up for him to kind of freelance and make try to make plays.
Schemed him up.
Yes.
I don't know. He had a decent game against Oregon. Could have been better. He had a batted down pass at the line. He's flashing, but he did not help in those deep passing scenarios. We saw that.
And
he's fourth in the team in tackles.
Yeah. I think
he's having a good year.
Putting him under my microscope because I want to see some playmaking. I don't want to see just a few tackles per game. I want to see some. He hasn't had a pick yet. Let's see something.
Yeah, exactly. Nationwide media has said Caleb Downs best safety in the nation coming into the season. Oh, freshman All-American. So yeah, play like he's playing well. Play like the fucking Charles Woodson type defensive back, game changing.
Oof. Well, that's high expectations.
Well, you know what I mean. Maybe not him so much, but like I'm trying to think of another guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like impactful plays, like you're saying, Joe. Like,
right.
Yes, show us you're the best in the nation.
I want to see people flying around like the Texas defense, like the Georgia defense last night. I want to see freaking guys flying around. I got a video here from Nick Saban, and this pinpoints. I played it on the live show Friday, the Buckeye Rush Hour, about the issues with the Buckeye pass rush. I want you to hear this.
How'd you feel about that Oregon-Ohio State game? Well, I was really impressed with Oregon, especially their offense. Ohio State's defense was, and I think this is the thing you have to be careful of, is, we talk about these teams that have the number one defense in the country. They're the number one scoring defense. But who did they play to come up with those stats?
Who they beat?
And then they play somebody really good, and they sort of get, exposed a little bit. And you start to wonder, exactly how good are they? Especially when they play somebody good, because that's when it counts. And in college football, I think that the rules favor the offense. Being able to block down the field, throw RPOs, throw advantage throws, throw screens and block people and crack people. I mean, it's tough to play as good a defense now as you used to and be able to win the game on defense. So I was really impressed with Oregon, the way they played on defense against a great Ohio State offensive team with a lot of weapons, and then the way that Oregon just, sort of picked Ohio State apart. They didn't affect the quarterback in any way, and
he had time.
And he had time, but they didn't ever pressure.
Yeah,
It was just four guys rush, which, that's kind of an antiquated way to play defense. And I'm not being critical of somebody's philosophy at Ohio State, but there's so much four-man rush, simulated pressure, still able to play the coverages that you play, drop different people, rush somebody that is supposed to be dropping, drop somebody that's supposed to be rushing. And these things are ways to get pressure without giving up anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So the point was that the current system, the Ohio State system, is archaic with the four-man front of trying to get pressure on the quarterback with just four down. And he's talking about bringing simulated pressure, bringing extra blitzers, stuff like that, as new ways of. This doesn't seem very new. I mean, we've seen this shit for 30 years. I have anyway. But anyway, so Saban's saying that the Ohio State the way they're trying to dial up pressure is out of date.
Which, he's like, I don't want to, Shawn, he said, I don't want to call anybody out for their philosophy.
Yeah.
But he said it's kind of an antiquated way of playing defense with only rushing forward. They didn't put any pressure on the quarterback, and they said the Oregon quarterback had time to pick them apart, which is what the three of us have said, and what most of Buckeye Nation has been saying. Why are we not getting any pressure? I mean, and I'm watching the Steelers-Jets game right now. The Steelers made the theme of zone blitzing 20 years ago, and you don't know. They got 9 guys standing up and 4 rush, and you don't know which 4 it is, and they're dropping whatever. Just all kinds of off the wall shit, and they won. They were dominant. We have the guys to be able to do that, to do anything. I think we have enough talent and depth. We could pretty much come up with any scheme, and our play, have the right players to adapt to it. But we don't change our scheme at all.
I feel like we get a little lazy because we got these athletes all over the place, and you kind of say, hey, you know what? We'll just play vanilla. We got the best D-line. We got the best edge rushers. We got the best linebackers. We just play our standard D, and good luck getting by us. And teams will scheme them up.
Yep.
And
one other thing. Sorry, Shawn. The other thing he said, the first thing Saban said was the rules favor the offense with the RPOs and all that kind of stuff, which they do. I mean, you're at a disadvantage. If you're going to play like a basic, antiquated defense, he said that's how you get picked apart against good teams, good on good. Because you need more. You need to come up something special.
Yeah, you got to, as a play caller, like a defensive coordinator, just like an offensive coordinator, you got to dial up some shit. You can't just roll your helmets out there and do the same shit every play. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
Imagine this, guys. Imagine our defense. We come up to the line, and we have Tyreek Williams down in a 3-point. We have Jack standing up. We have C.J. Hicks standing up. Reese.
I heard Hicks.
Sonny, and we have Dre Matthews in there with Hancock, with Burke, with Obi Jensen. I have everybody, and everybody's standing there like you don't know who's coming, and we blitz corners off the edge, and we're dropping, we're still dropping 6 or 7 in coverage. There's all kinds of things we could do that I think could unlock defense. Teams wouldn't know they don't know how to match up with our talent. They're trying to scheme us. If they can't scheme us because our scheme is out of this world, it could be a huge game changer. I think. Just as an example.
I'd heard. I feel like that was the one positive thing I'd heard about Hicks too, is that his ability to blitz and get to a quarterback. Maybe not read a defense or a pass, whatever, but you're going to have him blitz and try to get to a quarterback. That dude's got closing speed.
Yep. But the other team probably knows what he's going to do when he comes into the game. He's not dropping in coverage.
Or they're going to pick on him.
You're showing your hand a bit.
Yeah.
That could be an issue. But I would say my overall take on what Saban is saying is, and when I watch like the Texas-Georgia game, Georgia will bring 7 dudes up to the line of scrimmage, and you don't know who the hell's coming. It's corners, safeties. Like you saw Quinn Ewers get hammered on the blind side by a corner blitz.
Yeah,
when's the last time we had a corner blitz? When's the last time we saw a corner blitz at Ohio State? Sean Wade against Trevor Lawrence in 2019?
He got kicked out of the game for it.
Right. So it's like, when's the last? When are we going to start dialing up some shit?
I remember Antoine Winfield was great at it. I remember.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a lot of guys can come off the edge, and it's always a surprise, especially on the blind side. That's the key. And that's how Ewers got fucked up. So that's just an example of things that you can do that I watch in these other games. Like when I texted you guys last night, that's when I texted it. And I said, why does our defense not look like Texas's defense?
Well, even Oregon's. I thought Oregon was flying around a lot faster than we were. Or like their linebackers were everywhere.
Georgia, you can even use Bama if you want. So why does our defense not seem to look like that?
Yes, and we have guys
I
just
don't
as
have
fast,
the answer.
not faster.
I'm asking.
Yes, we have the talent, the speed, the talent. Our guys are just as athletically gifted.
We have 4 and 5 stars at every position. There's no weaknesses from a talent point of view. So I can't hear that excuse from the coaches if they want to try and use that. They want to use execution as an issue. No, they never do. They always put it on themselves, saying we need to practice this, or we need to call better plays, or we need to coach them up in this. All right, fucking do it, man. I'm running out of freaking patience here with Jim.
Our third down defense. Yeah, the third down conversions that we give up, the percentages is way below average. That's
now,
when you got
the pressure's on. We still play Indiana and Penn State yet.
And
not
Penn State's
that's our rival.
Yeah, you're right.
Back's against the wall now.
You can allow one more loss over this last 6 games. That's it.
No.
And that is not going to get you a bye in the playoffs. You will be in the playoffs, yes, but you're not going to make it. You're not going to get a bye. Before we go, I want to skim through the comments here quickly, but I do want us to get our top 4 Big Ten teams, because I feel we've said this since day one. The Big Ten is guaranteed 4 teams in the playoffs. Who's your top 4? Let's start with you, Jeff.
Oregon's at the top. They beat us.
All right.
We had a chance to win, but we didn't. You put Oregon at the top. You put us second, clearly. At third is Penn State. Fourth is Indiana.
Okay.
And I would love to see Indiana play. The outcome of our game, and if they played Penn State, because I think those are the 2 best defenses. So.
Yeah, and this is kind of a round robin tournament, right? Where we're going to run through.
Yeah. I think
Henry, what do you got?
I don't think you can even argue that. I think that's exactly right. I mean, I guess you could maybe flop Ohio State with some of those others because they're undefeated, but I mean, I'm still going with. I'll give Oregon the tip of the hat for now. If I love our chances on a neutral field, and to play them again, and so I'll give Oregon 1, us 2. Penn State 3, and Indiana, the surprise Goldilocks 4.
So the new, God damn you, ESPN. The new AP polls out. Oregon 1, Georgia 2, Penn State 3, Buckeyes 4. Then down at 13 is Indiana. Texas
Still
4.
13.
Or Texas 5, sorry. Yeah. It's no respect. I get no respect.
Because they haven't played anybody, so they're waiting to see
Yeah.
Indiana against somebody of substance, I guess, a good defense.
All right, I'm going to rifle through these comments while you guys are talking. Billy's in. I'm in. I actually posted a comment, yes. The question for the chat, in case you forgot, was, will the Cheaters make a bowl game? Billy says barely. Go ahead, Jeff. You can keep talking. I'm going to...
It depends. I mean, that bowl game question, what do you think about it? To me, it all depends on this week against Sparty. Or is that... Yeah, this week.
Yep, sure is.
At
At least they're not ranked anymore.
Oh, God, of course not.
But they were still ranked last week.
There is a streak right now, though, of first-year coaches at Michigan State beating Michigan. I think from D'Antonio to Tucker.
Oh, nice.
So it's very, I mean.
Well, we know Oregon's going to come in there and beat them.
Oh, I would.
In 2 weeks. Then Indiana, they're at Indiana. Nobody walks into Bloomington and gets out alive.
Michigan won't, I don't think. I think.
Because of the meth. But
Michigan, if Michigan had the same schedule as Indiana,
yeah,
they might be undefeated, but they would not have won like that.
I got 3 losses here in their last 5 games.
As incompetent as their offense is, I can't guarantee them a victory over anybody. Purdue, I can't guarantee them because Purdue might score points.
Purdue.
I mean, they probably would because their defense might be able to hold them. Maybe. But, I mean, I can't say that with confidence. I'll pick Sparty with the points for sure this week. Just because no Michigan fans, nobody can have confidence in them to be productive on offense at all. If you're incompetent level, dude, you're going to lose a lot of games in college football. It's geared toward the offense. Yeah, I mean, so like, and if your offense is horrible, I mean, they're shitty.
They got Lovely.
I mean,
that's it.
Right, and that kid, he seems like a real gamer, but like that kid gets a little twinge in the hamstring. He's like, I'm about to sit it down. I might be a first round pick. The culture's here bad. I hate half of my teammates, but you never know. I mean, they have nothing. There's nothing to bank on with them. We thought their defense would still keep them in a lot of games, but their offense is so bad, the defense doesn't even have a shot. So if they make a bowl game, I'm going to say no at this point.
Steven Cherry says no.
If they do, they're going to squeeze
well, I mean, I think they'll be bowl eligible at 6-6. Will they get picked for one?
They probably will. You're right.
Yeah.
But 5-7 is what I'm expecting. But
they don't. So I don't know if anybody's heard anything different, but from what I've heard, Dante Moore's family does not want him to play this year.
At Oregon?
I'm sorry.
what?
Jaden Davis. My bad.
Oh,
wrong Michigan quarterback.
Okay. The Michigan fans that are in my life, they say go to the freshman and just chalk up the loss for the season.
Right. But I'm hearing that the family does not want him to play
because he gone. He gone.
He could be.
He's probably gonna ask for more money to stay. I wouldn't surprise me the way that family seems to operate. What I've heard about him.
Steven Cherry says that the Cheaters are going to beg Signetti to come over, Coach Sig, and fire Moore. Less is more, or more is less. I don't know.
This guy's in his 60s. I think he's 59 or 60, like right around there. 62. First head coaching job. Sent from James Madison. James Madison.
Yeah. He's coached under some big programs before, though. As an assistant.
Coach for Saban. Coach under Saban, I know.
Yes.
Yes, but he didn't become a head coach till late. So this might.
I hope that doesn't happen because I like Signetti. I like saying it. I like being about it. And if he goes to Michigan, then yeah.
He always knows
I
what
don't
the
want
spread is, right?
That's right.
Make Indiana relevant. Make
And he
Indiana
can
a
make
tough
you an awesome chicken parm.
I will root for him to make Indiana respectable, a good program. You know
He's
what I
doing
mean?
it in one
Cool.
year, man.
Make,
I mean, he's flipping it.
Yeah, I mean, make sure that have them competitive every year with us, so we get credit for
Indiana
fucking
has a
stomping.
clear line to the playoffs, I think. What's
Yeah.
their
Oh yeah.
advantage?
What's their what?
They're undefeated.
Yeah.
They play us. They play us. They're gonna play us whoever the Big Ten championship. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we ran through their schedule. It's like they got Washington this week.
Well,
It's
they
a home
win.
game
Michigan
in Bloomington.
State, they win. Michigan,
Yeah.
they win. They lose to
Right.
us. Yeah,
And
they're
beat Purdue. They got one loss.
They
We
could
could
be
see
11
them,
one.
or
I'll pick
Oregon
10-2.
could see them in the Big Ten championship game, right?
That's why
I
we
think-
can't lose. That's why we can't lose the second game. That's why we cannot lose to Penn State or, anybody left. We can't go 10-2 because we might squeak in at 11th or 12th. I think, or 10th or 11th in the
10-2, we're in, bro.
10-2. Losing to our only two tough games. Say it's Penn State and Oregon, our only two losses, or to the only two good teams on our schedule. I don't know.
We're in.
We will not get credit for beating Indiana, even though they might be undefeated when we play them. If we lose to Penn State and Oregon,
We
you
are
know the national
in
outlook.
at 10-2.
I think we can't say it with confidence.
anything.
Oh yeah, we're in. I just want that bye. I want to be in the Big Ten championship game to possibly win that bye.
I wouldn't be surprised
That's
if
more important.
at 10-2, I wouldn't be surprised if SEC schools that were 9-3 got in over us. I'm just predicting. I just would expect that because of the media's outlook, not of what I feel. But
I don't know.
Anyways.
I think we're the because Georgia just beat number 1 Texas. They jumped us, but we're the second highest ranked one-loss team. They don't hate us. And if we lose, I mean, I guess right now you don't have any 2-loss teams in the top 12.
No.
But there's a lot. These guys all
yeah.
playing each other still. They're all gonna play each
Right.
other
Yeah,
still.
it's all
But yeah,
conference
we
play.
still got a lot of football left.
Yep.
I would not. You can't. I would not have any. I would not have total confidence, 100% confidence in us getting a good turnout at the end of the year if we're 10-2. And that's and 10-2 is a severe under. I mean, that would be an embarrassment for what we've had, what talent-wise, what they built for this year, and what they were coming in this year. All the guys that came back to go 10-2. That's a huge indictment on Ryan Day. It will be. And it will hurt in recruiting. It'll be used against us in recruiting. It'll hurt a lot of things. NIL, the money that we're going to spend, if Ryan Day lets us fall to 10-2. That's going to be a lot of rumblings from a lot of people with money.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, you
'Cause the media is going to pile on for sure.
Dude, we hear
But
rumblings
what?
after losing
So-
to Oregon in week
so what
freaking
about-
5.
so what about 11-2?
Big Ten champs, 11-2.
Yeah, that's fine.
No,
But Indiana's not. We're not going to play for it.
no,
if we
not
lose
Big
to-
Ten champs. Big Ten losers 11-2.
All right. Well,
I don't know. We can talk about that next week too. We can talk about that after next week's game. I'll get in that conversation with you, Shawn.
all right. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Please look for the Daily Buckeye Blitz. I'll be back next Friday, going live, and we'll be back next Sunday. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you.